Amen. I greet you in Jesus' precious name. It's wonderful to be with you again on the farm. It is a beautiful winter's day. That's why I'm wearing this jacket. And I've got a special message I want to share with you. If we go to the book of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 13. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him who speaks what is right. Now, the kings we're talking about could be your employer. It could be your headmaster at school. It could be a lecturer at university. It could be the foreman on the farm. Okay, righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him who speaks what is right. We've got to speak the truth, and we've got to speak it in love. People are desperate to hear the truth. Now, you know, in John chapter 17 and verse 17, the Word of God says, sanctify them by your truth. Your word is truth. The world is looking for good, honest, hardworking men and women that they can trust, who their word is their honor, what they say they mean. That is what the world is looking for. That is what companies are looking for. Good men and women that they can trust, that they can hear words of encouragement coming out of their mouths. Now, I want to tell you a story that happened to me as a young man when I'd come out of agricultural college. I'd been overseas and I'd come back to Zambia, and I was very privileged to get a very special position on a very large farm. This was a 10,000 acre farm. On this farm, there were two owners. They were partners. They were two senior gentlemen. I was in my early 20s. They were running 1,500 head of cattle. They were growing 1,000 acres of commercial maize, 160 acres of seed maize. They had vegetables. They even had a vegetable shop in town that we used to supply daily. I'm talking about things like cabbages, onions, cauliflower, you name it, tomatoes. So we were extremely busy. We had 8 tractors. Now, in those days, that was a big farm. And I was their manager. And I was running, I can tell you, from morning to night, because these men were on my case. The one gentleman had a silver tongue. I tell you what, it was like a scalpel. He was so sharp, this guy, and he would catch you out in an instant if you said the wrong thing. And the one day I was coming back from checking some of the operations, and he stopped me on the road and he asked me a question straight off. He said, Angus, field number 25. I give you an idea how many fields we had. How much fertilizer did you put down on that field? And I must be honest with you, I did a thumb suck, and I said, 30 bags, Mr. Watson. And he looked at me straight in the eye and he said to me, Angus, don't tell lies. I know that field, and you should have put 45 bags on that field. I felt so embarrassed and very humbled. I said, Mr. Watson, I'm terribly sorry, and I apologize, and it will never happen again. He said, thank you. And you know, from that day onwards, I used to carry a notebook in my top pocket. And he'd stop me on the road or somewhere in the field, and he'd say, how many cattle have we got now? And I'd say, hang on, Mr. Watson, and I'd take my notebook out of my pocket, look it up, and tell him exactly, we've got 1,534. He said, thank you very much, have a nice day. You've got to speak the truth in love, and that's how you earn respect. Jesus bless you, and goodbye.